Bonjour à toutes et à tous, soyez les bienvenus à Cooking with Kurt. Today, my husband Donald and I are going to show you how to make a galette des rois, or Three Kings cake in English. This is a popular French dessert traditionally served on January 6th, a day called l'Épiphanie or la fête des rois.
Kurt and I have been learning French, and we thought this was a great way to learn French words related to cooking and baking.
We recommend making this cake over 2 days, making the puff pastry on the first day, and assembling and finishing the cake on the second day. In French, this puff pastry is called la pâte feuilletée and is made of many alternating layers of butter and dough. In the bowl of your stand mixer, add in 2½ cups of all-purpose flour and 1½ teaspoons of salt. With a paddle attachment, mix on low-medium speed to mix the dry ingredients together. Then add in 2/3 cups of cool water and 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's been melted. Continue to mix on low-medium speed just until the mixture is combined. Stop the mixer. Scrape down the paddle attachment and the sides of the bowl. Avoid overmixing. Switch to a dough hook attachment and knead the dough just until it starts to look smooth. Avoid overworking the dough, as you want to minimize the gluten formation and make the dough tough. Roll it into a square that's 10 inches by 10 inches. Sprinkle with flour as needed to prevent the dough from sticking to the counter. Transfer it to a sheet pan lined with parchment paper, cover tightly with plastic wrap, and leave it in the fridge for 30 minutes to allow the gluten to relax a bit and for the dough to get cold before laminating. This is called la détrempe.
While the dough is resting in the fridge, we're going to prepare the block of butter called le beurrage, which will be folded into the dough. Take 18 tablespoons of cold, unsalted European-style butter and cut them in half lengthwise, so you end up with thin, long pieces of butter. Take a large piece of parchment paper and lay it on a clean, flat surface. Measure out 6 by 6 inches on a piece of parchment paper. Flip the parchment paper over so the ink is on the other side, and fold the sides of the parchment paper so that you have sort of a 6 by 6 inch shaped envelope. Your piece of parchment paper should be big enough that the folded up sides cover the 6 by 6 inch square completely. Place the butter pieces inside the 6 by 6 inch square and enclose the envelope and flip the envelope over. When the butter has softened a bit, gently roll the butter with a rolling pin till the pieces of butter start to blend into each other. Continue rolling and massaging the butter with a rolling pin till it reaches the edges of the folded parchment paper envelope, so that the butter makes a square that is 6 by 6 inches. Place this in the fridge for 30 minutes. European-style butter has a higher fat content than that of butter sold usually in the US, which is better for making puff pastries like this.
The next step is laminating the dough, which means folding the butter into the dough or doing turns, resulting in multiple dough, butter, dough layers. This is the tricky part of making puff pastry, but we're going to give you plenty of tips to maximize success for this process. After 30 minutes in the fridge, take the détrempe dough and the beurrage block out of the fridge. To laminate the dough and the butter should be cool but also soft and pliable during the lamination process. If either is too firm, let them sit at room temperature a bit to warm up. If you have a digital thermometer, the butter should ideally be between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit when folding and rolling. Place the beurrage block in the middle of the détrempe at a 45-degree angle so that it looks like a diamond of butter inside the square of dough. Then peel off the parchment paper. Fold the 4 flaps of dough into the center over the butter, stretching out the dough a bit, and pinch the dough together to seal the butter inside. Lightly flour the counter surface, and with a rolling pin, roll the dough into a rectangle that's 8 inches by 12 inches. Use the rolling pin to roll and even it out. Do your best to make a perfect 8 inch by 12 inch rectangle with straight edges and 90-degree corners. Before folding, use a pastry brush to brush off any excess flour on the top surface, as excess flour will prevent the layers from sticking together. Fold 1/3 of the dough into the center. Pat it down so that the two layers stick together. Brush off any excess flour from the top surface of this fold. Fold the opposite end over and onto this first fold. This is called a letter fold, as it's like folding a letter. Again, try to make everything neat and make the edges line up as much as possible. Wrap the dough tightly with plastic wrap. Let this rest in the fridge for 30 to 40 minutes to allow it to return to the 55 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range. When it's within that ideal temperature range, remove the plastic wrap. Rolling the longer edge to 12 inches long, roll it out into an 8-inch by 12-inch rectangle again, using the same technique as before. Use a pastry brush to brush off any excess flour on the top surface, and repeat the letter fold, i.e. fold 1/3 of the dough into the center. Pat it down so the two layers stick together. Brush off any excess flour from the top surface of this fold, and then fold the opposite end over and onto this first fold. Gently pat and press the dough a bit to compress the layers together and make sure all the edges are neat and aligned. You have now done 2 turns of dough. Wrap the dough tightly with plastic wrap and let it rest in the fridge for 30 to 40 minutes to let it return to the 55 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range. The traditional pâte feuilletée for la Galette des Rois requires a total of 6 letter folds. So when it's within that ideal temperature range, remove the plastic wrap and repeat the above steps to do a letter fold 4 more times, completing 6 turns in total. Refrigerating for 30 minutes after each turn to let the butter and dough return to the 55 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range. After 6 turns, wrap it tightly in plastic wrap and leave it in the fridge overnight. The next day, take the dough out of the fridge and let it come to the 55 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range. Flour the surface as needed and roll it into a rectangle that's 6 inches by 12 inches. Cut this rectangle in half to create 2 squares that are 6 inches by 6 inches. Wrap each square in plastic wrap and refrigerate for a minimum of 1 hour.
While we're waiting for the dough to rest and cool in the fridge, we're going to make the almond cream filling for the cake.
En français, c'est la crème d'amande ou la frangipane.
C'est parti. In the bowl of your stand mixer, add in 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. With a paddle attachment, mix on low-medium speed till the butter is a smooth and creamy consistency. Stop the mixer. Add in half a cup of granulated sugar and mix on medium speed for 1 to 2 minutes till the sugar and butter are creamed together and smooth, scraping down the bowl and paddle attachment as needed. Then add in 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, 2 teaspoons of rum, and half a teaspoon of finely grated lemon zest. Continue mixing just until all the wet ingredients are combined and well blended, scraping the bowl and paddle attachment in between as needed. Turn the mixer down to low-medium speed, add in 2/3 cup of almond flour, 1 teaspoon of all-purpose flour, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Continue mixing just until the almond flour is well combined and the mixture is smooth, scraping the bowl and paddle attachment as needed. Transfer this almond cream mixture into a piping bag with no tip, just a 1/2-inch diameter hole, and refrigerate for a minimum of 1 hour before piping. Next, we're going to make a simple syrup that we'll brush the galette with after baking.
En français, du sirop de sucre.
What he said. Take a small saucepan, add in 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and 1/4 cup of water. Bring this to a boil over low-medium heat till all the sugar dissolves. Transfer to a clean bowl and set this aside to cool. Beat 1 egg to make an egg wash and set this aside. Line a large sheet pan, we use a 13 by 18-inch pan, and line it with parchment paper.
When all the components are ready, you're ready to assemble the cake. We're using oil to prevent the dough from sticking at this point, as flour can cover up the dough butter layers. Use a thermometer to make sure the butter and dough are between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit before this final rolling step. Take 1 square of dough at a time out of the fridge so the other square stays as cold as possible. Roll it out into a roughly 11-inch by 11-inch square. Transfer this 11 by 11 inch dough square onto the prepared parchment paper lined sheet pan. Lightly press a 9-inch cake ring into the middle of the square to leave a circular impression. Brush the marked out 9-inch circle with a prepared egg wash. Pipe out the cold almond cream inside the 9-inch circle, leaving a 1-inch border free of almond cream. I like to start piping with the outside border first to ensure that I keep that 1-inch border, which is very important. Then fill in that initial outer piping of almond cream with consecutive circles. Then pipe a second layer of almond cream circles till all the almond cream is used up. Use an offset spatula to evenly spread out the almond cream into a flat and even layer as much as possible. Now traditionally, a galette des rois has la fève, or the bean, hidden inside the crème d'amande, and the lucky person who has la fève in their slice of cake is crowned king or queen for the day. La fève can also be a whole almond or a porcelain figurine. Today we're using a whole almond since they're readily available at home and we're nothing if not practical. Place the whole almond, or whatever you're using for la fève, into the almond cream. Let this rest in the fridge while working on the second half of the dough. Lightly grease your counter and rolling pin again. Take the second half of dough, let it come to the 55 to 60 degree Fahrenheit range, and roll it out into a roughly 11-inch by 11-inch square. Take the baking sheet out of the fridge, reapply egg wash on the 1-inch border of dough without almond cream, and lay the second dough square over the first one, pressing down on the edges to encase the almond cream and push out any air. Using the elevated mound of almond cream as a guide, use the same 9-inch cake ring to press and seal the two layers of dough together, also effectively cutting out the cake, which should leave a 1-inch border of dough free of any almond cream filling. Remove the excess dough on the side. You can shape this excess dough into mini croissants, freeze them, and bake them for later. Just brush with some egg wash and bake the frozen croissant dough at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on their size. Donald and I are eating some right now from the excess dough of our practice batch.
Yum!
Use your fingers to press the two layers of dough together firmly. Using your forefinger and middle finger, place 2 fingers on the 1-inch border facing out from the center of the galette. Then use the back of a bread knife to scallop the edges by drawing it towards you between your 2 fingers, about ½ an inch deep. This will create a decorative border around your galette, and also ensure the 2 layers of dough are firmly crimped together. Brush the top of the cake with the egg wash, stopping at the 1-inch border and preventing the egg wash from dripping down the sides of the cake, as we do not want to lock the layers of butter and prevent the cake from rising. The raised scalloped edges shaped by your fingers should help prevent the egg wash from dripping down the sides. Rest in the fridge for 15 minutes. Then brush the top of the cake with another layer of egg wash, again stopping at the 1-inch border and preventing the egg wash from dripping down the sides of the cake. Rest in the fridge for another 15 minutes. Finally, take the cake out of the fridge and use a sharp knife to score a design at the top of the cake with lines radiating from the center towards the edges. For more even scoring, mark the center of the cake first. Then score the 4 quadrants. Then finish scoring each quadrant of the cake. Be careful not to cut all the way through the dough. We're only making a slight indentation to create a pattern. Poke a large vent hole in the center and 8 additional slits distributed evenly over the surface, hiding the slits in the scoring that you've created. These vent holes will allow steam to escape and prevent the almond paste from leaking out the sides during baking. Rest the cake in the fridge for a final 30 minutes before baking, and preheat your oven to 410 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake your galette des rois at 410 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Then turn down the temperature to 355 degrees Fahrenheit and continue baking for another 25 minutes. or until the cake is beautifully golden brown. Don't be afraid to let it become deeply brown, as this caramelization gives the butter and crust an amazing flavor. Immediately brush the top with the prepared sugar syrup very generously. This will create a nice shiny finish. Let it cool on the baking sheet on a wire rack for at least 15 minutes before serving. And there it is, Galette des Rois, flaky, buttery puff pastry filled with almond cream.
Yum!
Vraiment goûteux. This crust is so flaky, it's actually easier to eat with your hands.
I agree, and I love all the lemon notes from the almond cream. Amazing. Oh, and I think I found the fève.
Lucky you. You are king for the day.
Really?
Really, really. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know in the comment section below if you're planning to make this Galette des Rois. Send us pictures of your creations in Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Links below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Cooking with Kurt.
And by royal decree, don't forget to click on the bell so you get notified when we post new cooking videos. And for our written recipes and so much more, be sure to check out cookingwithkurt.com.
Merci à vous de l'avoir regardé.
À bientôt!